But yeah, they were fun.
Rogue's Girl mentioned the old mascot theme drawn by Mio.
Oh yeah, that's right. I felt the site needed some kind of something to identify it with. It seemed kind of generic before, and of course, as I said before, my design skills are bad. My drawing skills are even worse. I tried twice, and then I realized there's better at programming. So with so many talented artists among the community, I wanted to open it up and see if anyone else had ideas, and she really did, and that was great. Yeah, I can use this. This is good. This is good work.
When did you start doing the contest anyway?
That's a good question. I want to say 2005, maybe 2006. People were uploading their own work, and I was impressed. Thought it'd be cool to foster people to try to get better, improve themselves, see what other people are doing. And I wasn't so sure, right? You open this up, and as with a lot of things on the internet, comments can be difficult, and a lot of people can be really mean on comments for things that they really have no business even commenting on. But I was heartened by the way that the community responded to people when they uploaded their work, and I thought it was really strengthening to the community as a whole, and I think really encouraged the artists that did submit their work. Thought it was a good addition.
Also, the Advanced Anime site, I think, had one, maybe two partners over the time.
Partners. Now, partners can mean a lot of things. Do you mean like link partners?
I remember for a time the site, some of the contests were sponsored, and then for a time we paired with Hikari, I think, for a chat feature.
Oh yeah, okay. So every so often you'd have, or I'd have, companies that wanted to advertise and wanted to kind of get involved. And sometimes I would pitch them, hey, do you want to sponsor a contest? And it's like, you put up a little merchandise, and the winner gets a little merchandise, a little something, a DVD or something like that. And it was a nice way to give a little extra reward for being first, as opposed to just the kudos. So that was nice when companies would do that. And then the chat thing. Oh God, do you guys remember? Do any of you remember the chat? The supremely rudimentary chat thing that I first made back in the day.
Yeah, when I first joined, it was kind of empty most of the time, and then there would be some conversations, but I wasn't usually part of them for too long, and then not too long after the chat was taken down.
Do you know why it was taken down?
No. I don't. Well, I've heard the theories, but I've never actually known the actual reason.
What are the theories?
The theories was just usually code when a lady would say that it was usually because like people just couldn't handle it, and they would always be like flame wars and arguments in there.
That's a good theory. It was very difficult to moderate, and when I expressed that I had caution when I added contests, for example, because I wanted to make sure that any feature I added would be contribute positively to the community. Mm-hmm. The chat was not one of those things. It was also a little resource intensive. I could have figured out a way around that if really necessary, but despite the many requests for a chat room, it, in my opinion, it was really not good. I feel there were other ways that people could have chats, offline, Google Chat, or ICQ back then. I guess then the third party, when I'm like, okay, people really, really want it, they can do it on their own if they want, right? They can set it up. They can facilitate this Kumori chat or whatever it was.
Akari chat,
yeah, and they can go ahead and do it because there's just this. God, probably every other feature request is something about chat.
I think Akari was. I think Akari was like an IRC chat program.
Yeah. They contacted me and said, "Hey, we think this might be a good fit." Well, the members keep saying they want it, so I'll play around, see if it works out. So I don't know so much as a partnership. There wasn't so much as a partnership there, I would say. It was just they wanted me to try their program, and I said, let's give it a spin.
That kind of does make things make a little bit more sense now. Explains why some of the people that you had working with Akari were kind of frustrated, because it's like, oh, they aren't really partnered with the site, more of. So it's like they have no obligation to get back with the members of Advanced Anime about things that are going on with the chat.
Yeah, the Advanced Anime email was kind of like that as well. I don't know if any of you remember that.
Yeah, I know of people who used it. I never used it myself, and I think some of them were sad when it closed down.
Well, it was back in the day. Boy, I've been saying that a lot. Back in the day. But back in the day, the internet wasn't even 10 years old, and now it's 10 years ago that this was the case, where having email at your domain was a big deal, right? You wanted a cool domain for your email.
Mm-hmm.
And there was this company that was facilitating this because it was a huge hassle to set up yourself. And then the servers that I was running at the time, not a good idea. You don't want to screw with email. It would just take my attention away from programming other features. So this other company is like, hey, we'll do it. It's like everyone.net. And cool, so I'll just, you can just take care of that, and members will be happy, and they'll get it. But what happened, it went on, and it was good to begin with. It was like the equivalent of Yahoo Mail back then. Mm. And then they just stopped developing it, and it got so bad. I mean, you had Gmail was out, and you had conversation threads, and live chat within your, and this company had not developed it at all. It's like, okay, you guys are done. You're just not holding up your end of the implied bargain of keeping your service cool. So, there would just be more problems with it, and it just wasn't worth it. So, that's something you learn, though. Right? You give these things a spin. You have to assess, is this really worth it? It may not be.
So is chat now less resource intensive?
Well, everything's less resource intensive because servers are just so powerful now. It was a really, really hard to find a server when Advanced Anime just kind of skyrocketed in popularity that would be able to handle the massive amount of traffic. Now you've got servers, you can put Advanced Anime on a virtual server now. You can put it in the cloud. You can allocate resources to it on an on-demand basis. That's what I said. Programmers now got it super easy. I had to commit to a server. I had to migrate the site when I need a new one with new resources. Chat, yeah, it's whatever now.
So
It's
is the
whatever.
migration what was caused the crash?
Sometimes I didn't want to be in the server business, but advanced anime was popular enough where it forced me to be in the server business. And that means I had to remotely choose a server that was sitting in some data center. And I'm like, okay, I want SCSI hard disk. I want a gigabyte of RAM. Whoa, a gigabyte? Yeah, you got to pay for that. And I need 300 gigabytes of traffic. And you had to know how to what your site needed. And then when you got that new server, you had to either hire some server administrator who knew this stuff, or teach yourself Linux, which I went for teaching myself Linux because hiring server administrators is also expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't very good at Linux, especially with the things that I needed to do in order to have smooth migrations. But yes, downtime was a result of server migrations for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I do not recommend it. I do not recommend server administration to anyone.
All right, so another funny question for you. All right, there was a picture way back. So the question is, do you still have balls written on your forehead?
No, I don't. It happened to be permanent marker, but it wore off over time. Now, where's that picture from? Where did this picture emerge? I don't remember.
I don't really remember either, but I remember seeing it on the forum and stuff like that, and everybody laughing over it. It was your hair was kind of spiked up, and it had balls written across the forehead.
Wow. I hope I didn't post that. That wasn't a very smart thing to do.
Maybe it's just someone just happened to find it.
Yeah. Huh. Well, no. The answer is no.
Alright, good.
And don't ever fall asleep with a roommate that played dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, never fall asleep first when people are over.
Yeah, that's right. That's the rule.
Yeah. First one to fall asleep, permanent marker. On its way.
Oh, so you know what this is about.
Yes.
Have you had something written on your forehead as well?
No, I have not. I'm not the first one to fall asleep. I know better.
My photo was a warning to everyone. Don't let this happen to you.
Yeah. All right. And then I think there was a inside joke that you liked socks. Supposedly you had several pairs of fancy socks. Or colorful ones.
I don't know how much of an inside joke this... It may have become an inside joke. I believe I had a very brief profile when I first allowed people to add profiles, and it probably said something... I like Miyazaki anime, I'm a Lindy Hopper, I also do some marching tango, and I like socks. So maybe it just started from there, and people's imagination ran away with them. But it's true. I can confirm the joke or the rumor. Back in 2006, I really wanted a pair of red socks.
That's what it was, red socks, yep.
Red socks. I really wanted a pair of red socks. And I could not find red socks. You couldn't go to Target and get a pair of red socks. They were black, and they were white, and they were brown. it's not that way anymore. I'm very happy about that.